This episode of the ResortLoop.com podcast is brought to you by Joffrey's Coffee and Tea Company. Joffrey's is proud to be the official specialty coffee of Disney. Enjoy drinks and pastries at Joffrey's kiosks throughout the parks and check out the Disney Specialty Coffee Collection only at Joffreys.com.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
Our next stop will be the Transportation and Ticket Center, which includes Magic Kingdom car and bus parking.
Hey everybody, you found the gateway to the magic. I'm Tim Scott.
I'm Bob Collar.
And this is ResortLoop.com, and you're here for episode 185.
185. Boy, we're sneaking up on 200, aren't we?
We are.
Very quickly.
Who'd have thought?
And our second anniversary.
I know.
Yeah.
We're working behind the scenes trying to get something organized. We'll have to see what happens.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm keeping you abreast of everything.
You're...
I'm not going down alone.
It's going to be a very exciting 2015. We've said that in the past, but this year is going to be very exciting for Resort Loop and LooperNation. I'm
going to coin a phrase. It's the Resort Loop Renaissance.
No, we're pretty much staying... I mean, although I did have power tools, you made sure you posted that picture.
Who would give you power tools? I know your wife didn't get you power tools.
I have been trying to find the buzzer that you have.
Good luck.
Dismantle it. I apologize, by the way. I think that that plumbing problem should be fine after.
Exactly. And my fender. Thank you for fixing the fender.
Anyway, Tim.
Yes.
What are we going to talk about today?
This is a topic for a show that I've wanted to do for a while. We always love to talk about the Disney resorts. Where we stayed, where we want to stay. I want to take a little different twist on this.
Yeah.
I want to know where Resort Loop Nation stands when they go to the park and they stay off property.
Because you can't always afford to stay on property.
I know.
Or can you?
I know for us, when we go down, we're usually only down maybe once a year or so.
Mm-hmm.
So for that 1 year, we usually save up our budget to actually stay on property.
Right.
But I'm thinking, if it's something happens, we want to go down maybe more than once a year. We want to cut back on somewhere. Maybe it's the room. Maybe it's to stay somewhere off property. Save a little bit of money.
Absolutely.
And I think it's also valuable for families of, more than your standard 4 people.
Right.
I know Disney has added some family suites, if you have 5 or 6 people. But even if you have 2 families traveling together, we're getting maybe 6, 7, 8 people.
Yeah.
Disney's not always all that friendly.
A couple of families want to go down together, but want to stay in the same place. It's a little tough to do.
Unless you have an unlimited budget, then they make it really easy.
Right. I mean, obviously, the preferred thing to do is to stay on Disney property because it's just easier. And you want to stay in the magic. You want to have that there. But like you said, sometimes it's just not possible.
Yeah,
so.
it's as the full experience. Like if I know a family of 4 is going down, it's their first time, you want them to stay on property. Absolutely. You want them to stay there. You don't have to worry about shuttles, buses.
Right. You want it to be a good experience. And sometimes, this is one of the negatives about staying off property. As you know, sometimes it's a little difficult to get in and out of the parks and be able to do the things that you like to do, like take that midday break.
Right.
It's a little tougher because now you got a 15, 20-minute drive maybe to get to your hotel. So
you may have to pay for parking unless you have like an annual pass.
Right.
Yeah, you got a lot for those kind of things.
Yeah. So, but again, sometimes it's just not always economically possible or just feasible, like you said, size-wise. To stay on property.
Right.
That's what we wanted to find out.
Right. So we sent it out there.
To who?
Our social media friends. We want to know where do you guys stay? Bob, they came through as they always do.
LooperNation is amazing to us. We want to thank LooperNation once again for just being so good to us.
Being who they are.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You want to start us off with the original Super Looper?
I think we need to start off with Mr. Joe Quattrochi.
Hey, Joe.
He says they have stayed at the Orange Lake Resort and Country Club. Now, he says it's right off 192 in Kissimmee. Their property actually borders the Animal Kingdom, so it's really close to Disney. He says they have a wide assortment of rooms and suites, from regular rooms up to like the 2 and 3 bedroom units. They have washer, dryers, full bathrooms, and bedrooms. They also have 2 mini golf courses, so something for the kids.
Wow.
A lazy river pool. I do enjoy a lazy river pool. They have multiple pools, golf courses, a 9-hole executive course, 2 18-hole courses, a 9-hole par 3 course. I think that might be for the kids. Or for me. I'll be out there all day trying to do a 9-hole course. This is probably the next best thing to Disney World, in this Looper's opinion of a property having it all. Now, I looked it up. It looks like a very beautiful property.
Yeah.
Really close.
That's I believe that's a timeshare, isn't it? Is that a timeshare place?
I think so, but a lot of these timeshares, you can rent them out as regular rooms.
Right. So, there you go. We'll move over to Freddie P.
Freddie.
Good pal of the show. It's just easier, Frederick. It's just easier if we call you Freddie P, because we don't want to butcher your last name.
Because we'll do it every time. Exactly.
And he has sent us so many different phonetic ways of saying his name. We just can't do it. He says, I don't want to sound like a prude, but I wouldn't even consider staying off property. The Walt Disney World resorts are part of the experience for him and his family. So
I get it. I do get it.
Absolutely.
Sean Woosley.
Fish Sean Woo.
He has an excellent property there. He likes to stay at G Woo's house. He says big fish and good eats. Then he also sent us that picture. I don't know if everybody saw it on our stuff, but man, that was a big fish.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy fish, so maybe I'll see if I can get a reservation there.
I think they fish right off of their backyard.
Oh, living the dream.
Yeah. So I don't know, Tim. Is he inviting us to stay at the house? Is that what?
That's what I'm reading between the lines. I don't know.
Absolutely. We're knocking on your door, Sean. Come on now.
Hello.
Oh, my God. We're here for a fortnight.
And tartar sauce. We brought the tartar sauce.
Kyle Atkinson says, our favorite place is the Wyndham's Bonnet Creek Resort.
Ooh.
It's beautiful and literally 3 minutes from the boardwalk. You feel like you're staying on property. You're so close. Plus, it's timeshare, so you get them pretty cheap. There's another timeshare. Mm-hmm. He goes on to say, for our honeymoon, we got 7 nights for around $650.
Hey.
It's a huge resort, huge shipwreck pool area for the kids, lazy river, etc. I've driven over there. It is kind of cool over there, and it's off property, but it's not. It's almost kind of like the Swan and Dolphin.
Yeah, it's got that. It's got like a small sign, doesn't it, for Bonnet Creek? It's like Bonnet Creek this way with a little tiny arrow.
Yes.
Now, I've not been back there, but those are like a few resorts back there, aren't there?
Yeah, there's a couple now. Yeah. So, that's and again, I think I'm 99% sure that's still Disney property. So it's kind of the same deal that they have, downtown Disney with all those resorts and the Swan and Dolphin. Now, I don't know if they have any of the early entry over there, but looks kind of nice. I took a look at Bonnet Creek to find out what the prices were, and I believe they were around. What did I say, Tim? $169. My session expired.
Oh no! Yeah, I think you did say that. It was right around there. Yeah, so it's like in the moderate range, but a little more luxurious than a moderate, I would think.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I would think so. Yeah.
Joanne Ralston, she goes, does the Downtown Disney Best Western count? Yes, it does.
Oh, yeah.
She goes, that's as far off property as she would go. And she goes, that's only for the one night when they drive from New Jersey if they need to save a few bucks. So, we've talked about that before. Don't spend your $400 a night room after you've been exhausted and you're going straight to bed.
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah, Downtown Disney Best Western. I'll have to give that one a look, too.
Our good pal, Tamara.
Good job.
Did I do that right?
You did.
Spidell says, the thought of staying off property is absolutely heresy. Sorry, but these Diz nerds only stay in the bubble.
Absolutely. I can't, like I said, I totally get it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Excellent. Todd Favreau, he says, check out Caribe Royal. And
oh, yeah.
That was actually one of the ones I've looked at in the past. I've driven by it quite a bit, and I'm really happy with where that is.
Right.
That is easy in and out of the Disney property.
Yeah, it's not real crowded over there.
No, I looked it up, and I picked out I think we looked up the same night in June.
Mm-hmm.
And that one was a really reasonable. I want to say it was like $135 a night.
Yeah, that's not bad. And you've got a lot of over there. I believe you've got a lot of restaurants and stuff over there. We're going to talk about another one that's really nice interior wise. That has a lot of nice restaurants and that one of the loopers pointed out. But the Crib Royale is a very nice. Not like Casino Royale. You don't have James Bond there. But
No, that costs a little bit extra.
That's.
But the standard room looked like it was $134 a night. And I'll just jump down to the most expensive one they had was $246 a night. That's for a 2-bedroom villa, but sleeps with the 8 people.
Wow.
So I mean that's not bad. If you're splitting that with 2 families, or you just want some extra space.
Yeah. Now I looked at Disney for around that same time, and the cheapest you could get near there would have been Port Orleans Riverside for $212.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're not going to get 8 people in one of those rooms.
So yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah. What else we got here? Let's see. Susan Buckley Brass.
Susan.
Good pal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Says, I haven't stayed off property since 1995, and it was a timeshare. This should be it's interesting to hear where other loopers like to stay off property. As she goes on to say, not all people that love Disney can afford to stay at a Disney resort. So there you go. You're right, Susan.
Yeah. Scott Campbell, he says, he mentioned on Twitter about the Reunion Resort. It has 3 PGA signature courses, 11 bars and restaurants, a water park, and a ton to do there, he says. And it's luxury for cheap, he says. And I had not really heard of it, but I looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
I've been by there. That is a gorgeous resort.
Yeah, you can get a 1-bedroom deluxe villa for about $175.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's pretty cheap. Pretty cheap.
Yeah, for what that room is, that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, it just, from what I could see, it looks like it's got a little dining room, little living room area, kitchen. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's now you start getting up to some of the bigger ones, and obviously it's a little bit more expensive, the $250 and
right.
such. But you're not getting a Disney villa for that for the most part.
No, you're not. But it looks gorgeous.
Yeah. Jen Steed says, I'd give you the location of the college program apartments. She's a college program alumni from 2003.
How cool is that?
Well, I don't understand. She says, I don't think you guys have clearance to bunk with those kids.
Oh, well, that would be a little creepy. We're the creepy guys now.
Hey, here comes Grandpa Bob,
Someone help him with his bags.
I don't think they go for the early bird special, like we would.
No, probably not. Britt White, he goes, I don't understand the question, and I won't respond to it.
Very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice. Scott Danziger followed up with, I got nothing.
We know where they like to stay.
Exactly.
Judy, she goes, the Cypress Point Resort at Lake Buena Vista. Lovely resort up from the crossroads, 1 to 3 bedroom apartments, and she also likes the Marriott Fairfield Inn and Suites Lake Buena Vista. She said it just got a refurb and is lovely inside now.
Ooh.
Those are a couple good calls to look up.
There you go. That's a nice one. Jamie Lee Frazier says the Hilton Grand Vacation Suites were awesome and only a 10-minute drive from Disney World. We got an awesome deal for $100 a night in February 2012. Great pool and barbecues everywhere, so you can do some tasty cooking. Our room also had a kitchenette, nice balcony with seating, and a king-size bed. So she goes on to say that she gave us a TripAdvisor link to that resort, and that's a great point. If you can't stay on property but you want to stay close, visit TripAdvisor. And they will give you ratings of all of the resorts. That way you don't end up staying in a place that you might not really have wanted to stay at.
You've been
a meaning.
Yeah, you've been a TripAdvisor fan for a long time. You actually turned me on to it.
Yeah, I love TripAdvisor. When we really even locally, we use TripAdvisor. We'll go sometimes to Akron or down to Pittsburgh, and when we want to get something good to eat, we just punch in the TripAdvisor, and it'll tell us a good place to eat. That way, you're not spending a lot of money on a lousy meal,
right?
And same thing for hotels. So
awesome. Terry Pritchard, he goes, the furthest he ventures off property is Pop Century.
Yeah, it's a little ways off property.
A little bit.
Not much.
No.
Yeah. Jenna Hoekstra says, I got this. I grew up staying off property. I've stayed at the Wyndham in downtown Disney. That's a nice one.
Ooh.
It has a huge pool, and you can walk to Saratoga Springs in downtown Disney, along with the other hotels down there. It has a shuttle. It also has character breakfast and Great Disney Store.
Cool.
The views from the tower rooms are amazing. You can see Epcot and Magic Kingdom fireworks. I've also stayed and will be staying at Bonnet Creek, across from Old Key West. It has suites, kitchen, and a lazy river. I didn't know that. This hotel also has a shuttle to Disney. I may be shot for saying this.
Uh-oh.
Here she goes. But staying off property is better than staying on.
Oh, well, do tell.
It is cheaper, and you have the freedom to eat off-world and go to the store. You can also get great flight and hotel deals staying off the world. I am a teacher, and I love kids, but I find that staying off property there are fewer children running around. Both of these choices are not too far off property and still have a ton of magic.
Oh, all right.
So there you go.
I didn't think about those packages that I've seen involving Disney hotels. That's a good tip.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. Interrupt our readings here.
Mm-hmm.
If you're staying off property, you kind of got to have a car?
I always assume I'm having a car anyway, so we probably should have mentioned that at the top of the show.
Yeah.
I don't want to...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, some of the hotels' shuttle services might not be as frequent as you would like.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't want to speak of anyone specifically because I'm not sure, but I always like to just have my own option in my own car just to make sure I can get where I want to go when I want.
Right. Now, you could always take a cab from whatever park you're at, but I don't know as I want to really mess with that. That would give me some anxiety that I don't necessarily want to have when I'm on vacation.
Right.
So, yeah, just throwing that out there.
I wonder if Uber is working around the Disney resorts at all.
Oh, hey, that's a good question.
Or Lyft is another one, I think. Oh, anyone's used either of those, let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Don Herring Gunther says, the Hilton across from downtown Disney is convenient, and there is a Benihana inside. Ooh. They do the fried rice on the hibachi in the shape of our favorite mouse.
Oh, I do love Japanese hibachi cooking.
Do you?
Oh, I do.
Do you do that at home?
I don't have a hibachi at home, but we go to some of the restaurants around here.
I actually stayed at that Hilton, as many of you know, down across from downtown Disney. One of the best off-property hotels, mostly because you just walk across the street to downtown Disney. Mm-hmm. Great location. It was a very nice hotel. But it was one of those things, like you had said, we had gotten in. I took your advice, and we got in that day, and we didn't want to waste, because we got in late. We didn't want to waste our first stay at Pop Century or Art of Animation at just getting in and going to bed. Mm-hmm. So we stayed at the downtown Disney Hilton, and it worked out great.
Awesome.
And then the next day we went over to Art of Animation.
Now, isn't that one of the only, or one of the few, or one of the only hotels that actually has extra magic hours?
Yes. I know it does. I'm not sure about the other ones, but I definitely know that that one does, and it has the character breakfasts as well. Very
nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Benita Polly Braun, she goes, last time she was at Disney, she was by herself, and she stayed at the Residence Inn Orlando at Lake Buena Vista. Her family and her had been in Key West for her oldest son's wedding. Oh, she has another wedding coming up, I do believe. So I was a little strapped for cash, but wanted to go to Disney. So at the time, Tyler, she was there, soon-to-be groom, was working for Marriott. And she goes, let me tell you, I got a nice, sweet deal on the price of the room. The hotel was very nice and was a 5-minute drive to downtown Disney. The hotel had a great breakfast and an afternoon cocktail hour with snacks. Hey. All in all, it was a great experience, especially with the great room price. Now, that's something you might need to factor in if you're staying off property. Some of these places might have a nice either continental or hot breakfast you can take advantage of.
Right. Yeah, that's and don't forget, a lot of these like Hilton and Marriott and some of the other ones, they have the rewards points.
Yes.
So you might be able to get now. Disney has their rewards points as well off the Disney Visa card. So look at those as well, and you might be able to get free night stay. So
nice.
Jed Penna says we have gone 4 times in the past 6 years. Our first time was on site, All Stars. It was horrible. What?
Oh no.
So they left and went mid-trip to another hotel, the Crib Royale.
Oh, another shout out.
Awesome hotel. He really liked that one. So after that, they've gone and rented a vacation rental by owners. It's VRBO.com. And they can get a 5-bedroom house with a private pool for the same price as a value room. And they don't ever plan to go back on Disney property, given the value you can get elsewhere. Even when you add in the rental and parking, it's still much cheaper for them. So he says, recommend finding good reviews on VRBO.com and picking up a rental. They love Disney, but they like the private pool and convenience of space and a kitchen to save money. Mm-hmm. And are extremely satisfied with the service they got at using VRBO. So there you go. There you go. I have used VRBO.
Have you really?
We did. We used it for a trip with my mother-in-law to Cocoa Beach, of all places. Home of I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, yes.
Let's see how many people remember that. Anyway, it's a little nervous. I have a lot of anxiety. Spending money.
Oh, I know.
So I was nervous about doing it, but you can purchase the insurance, and it's all. It's very cheap. The insurance is very cheap, and if something happens, you get fully reimbursed by VRBO. And it was beautiful. It was exactly what they said. I was able to contact the owner, and it was perfect. Everything worked out real well. And some of them actually are the owners go through a what do they call that? A real estate company. Mm-hmm. So some of them you can actually pay with credit card instead of cash. So, but it was very nice. We got a beach house right on the beach for a very good price for the family. So
that's
there you go.
Good tip.
Yeah.
Jessica Mitchell, she says her hotel of choice when staying off property is the Holiday Inn Orlando Southwest Celebration Area. It was formerly the Holiday Inn Main Gate East. I think I remember that one.
Yeah.
She goes, she stayed there many times as a kid with her parents, and her husband and I stayed there for their honeymoon in 2011. The hotel is clean, has a nice pool and playground. The dining options are limited, but pretty good for grabbing a quick bite. She goes, the rates are some of the best I've been able to find. We were actually upgraded for free to a large suite in our honeymoon, and the staff was amazing, so she really likes it there. Well, that's nice. Anytime you can get an upgrade, too, man. That's nice.
Absolutely. And, you want a good, good group of people helping you out. That's one of the reasons people go to Disney, because you're pretty much going to be taken care of there.
Yes.
So, there you go. Good pal of the show, Christina Black's husband, says, our house seems set up perfectly to fit our specific needs. Another invitation for us.
That's what I'm hearing in there.
That's awesome. I've seen he sent me pictures of the house. Very nice, and a pool.
Okay.
So, we'll have our own pool. That'll be nice.
I do enjoy a nice pool.
Thanks, Michael.
No, we'll be right over. Matthew Wall says he hasn't done it yet, but he's considering a vacation home for their next trip because we have a couple of families wanting to join us, and splitting accommodations and the at-home meals has an appeal to them.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, multiple families. That's a good way to go.
I got to admit, I don't think I would make too many meals on vacation, other than maybe breakfast. But maybe if I was going to be there for like 2 weeks, like a nice long trip, I would do something like that.
Yeah, you know what? I got to be honest with you. I don't like my wife to have to cook a meal. She doesn't mind. She wants to do she likes the beach trip kind of thing. And the thing that I don't like is her having to cook. And I don't want to be home. Right. I want to be on vacation.
Yeah.
I want her to be on vacation. I could cook. I could clean the dishes. I usually don't. But, I'm just saying, I just want everybody to just be on vacation.
Yeah, you disgust me by not doing dishes.
I disgust you in many other ways.
It's the least you could
do.
do.
Dishes have nothing to do with it.
Anyway.
Keep going.
I'm just digging a hole, aren't I?
Yeah, you are.
Christina Rummery says, when my husband proposed at Disneyland, we stayed at the Annabelle. I remember really liking it. Other than that, we're super lucky in that my parents live in Orlando and my in-laws in the L.A. area, so we always stay off-property in a comfy, homey accommodations.
Wow.
So there you go. Disneyland's a whole different animal when it comes to staying there because they've only got the 3 resorts. And when we were there, we stayed literally across the street from Disneyland at the Parkview Inn. And it's an older, very old hotel, but very nice, very clean. And it was reasonably priced. It was just it was a nice older hotel. And I highly recommend the Parkview right across the street. From Disneyland, you just walk right into the front gates.
Wow.
So, yeah, you don't get any closer than that except for staying on property, obviously.
Having only been to Disney World and only looking up Disneyland things, it just seems I can't even fathom it.
No, and people, I've had friends of mine that have gone to Disneyland but never gone to Disney World, and they ask, well, where do you stay? I said, well, you got to stay at, and I give them all the Disney resorts, and they go, well, can't I stay off property and just walk in? And I'm like, no. You're not walking into anything at Disney World.
That's called a marathon.
Right. Yeah. Unless you're Quattrochi. You're not doing that. I'm just saying. Oh, my goodness.
Eva Cerny Vanderpool, she goes, it's a bit further, but when they want to go, they can drive to Disney. They've stayed at the Rosen and Peabody, who's now a Hyatt. And if you go by a Hotwire, it's a steal.
Yeah.
Now
there you go.
I forgot the Peabody wasn't the Peabody anymore, but wow.
Well, they still have the ducks.
I hope they're still marching. Once they're trained to do it, I can't imagine you can stop them. Or maybe they sold them off to the Aflac company. I don't know how that works.
I was going to take that in a whole different direction, but I'm not. So anyway, Disney RN says, I want to buy a house in Golden Oaks. Does that count?
It absolutely counts because you'll have room for us.
That's right.
We need a southern studio, and that's where we will put it.
Absolutely. Golden Oaks will work.
Cliff Barnes, he just says, blasphemy. I know not to what you guys speak.
Absolutely. We understand.
Oh, absolutely. But it's something people need to talk about, I think. At least know there's other options.
Right. I mean, they're there. I mean, those hotels wouldn't be there if people weren't staying at them. So we're just trying to give LooperNation some other options. That's all. Robin Howard says, Buena Vista Palace Hotel and Spa across the street from downtown Disney. Convenient walk, kind of upscale, more for adults or older kids. And it was nice when they were there for a conference.
Okay.
There you go.
Excellent. Oh, good friend of the show, one of our big supporters, Jim Tucker.
Jim.
Hey, Jim. He goes, we love the Hilton Garden Inn SeaWorld with the SeaWorld view, usually 1 or 2 days here before they check into Disney.
There you go.
That's awesome. I hear the seafood there is very fresh, too. So, I mean, that's kind of a good plus. What?
Stacy Hayes says, we like Hilton Buena Vista and the Hampton Orlando Lake Buena Vista.
All right.
There you go.
Very nice. Disney Dad, he goes, Gaylord Palms is spectacular. He goes, his biggest pet peeve about offsite hotels is the epidemic of mandatory resort fees, even at motels.
Yeah.
You're going to get that everywhere there. I totally get it.
Yeah, the resort fees will get you. I got nailed with the parking fee when I stayed down at the other park down up the road. I just don't get that. I don't get the whole parking fee.
Right.
If you're parking inside a secured parking garage, that's one thing where it's covered. My car can stay cool and not get beat up by the Florida heat. But it's just a parking lot.
Yeah, just build it into the price. Just tell us how much it is.
Right.
That's all I want to know.
Exactly.
Don't make me do math, please. It's vacation.
Don't make me do math. So there you go. That's it for what LooperNation, some of the places that they've stayed. If you guys have some other places that you've stayed and want to share it with LooperNation, feel free to post that on our Facebook page. And don't forget, really, check out TripAdvisor. I can't say enough good things about TripAdvisor. It will help you avoid a bad experience, whether dining or hotels, and they'll even give you some tips on things to do at your destination. So check that out. And Tim.
Yes, Bob.
That is all I've got.
Awesome. That's all I have as well. Again, just let us know where you'd like to stay if there's somewhere different. I'm kind of making it just a little bit of a list, so I have different options for in the future. But I think my biggest thing is I want to be able to get in and out of the Disney property quickly.
Absolutely.
So that's my thing. Anyway, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm ResortLoop Tim. I am at Facebook at Tim ResortLoop Scott. We have the website, ResortLoop.com.
I'm ResortLoop Bob on the Twitter and Instagram. Don't forget Facebook.com/ResortLoop. That's where we post all of these questions. And listen to us on iTunes. And where else can they listen, Tim?
You can always find us on the Stitcher.
The Stitcher.
Stitcher. Everybody, this has been the Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody.
Everything the light touches. What about that shadowy place?
That's beyond our borders. You must never go there, Simba.